born and raised in Waukesha. He did his first hunting and fishing right here. Now he hunts the world and cooks it up deliciously, featured as the Midwestern host of The Fowl Life on the Outdoor Channel. Joel Kleefisch was raised in the Shaw.
Good evening, Wisconsin. Welcome to Raised in the Shaw. I'm your host, Joel Kleefisch, of course, Raised in the Shaw. Coming to you live from the Fishbowl in downtown Waukesha. Swing by, say hey, 217 Wisconsin Avenue. Have we got an exciting show for you this evening? I mean, announcements that are going to blow your mind. First of all, number one, I can smell it in the air. We are getting close to hunting season here in Wisconsin. That means within 2 weeks, early goose opens. And then from there, Katie bar the door. It's wide open for turkey hunting, deer hunting, small game hunting, whatever you need to do. And I'm so jacked right now. A lot of you guys who listen were fans of the show Kill It, Clean It, Cook It. I did that for 13 years on Channel 12 WISN, my alma mater, and that was kind of a dream come true when I was able to start that show. I always wanted to have kind of a local television show, and a lot of you guys have been there through those years and transitioned with me now, working for The Fowl Life on the Outdoor Channel, which has been incredibly exciting and really something new that I've been able to do. But one of the things that was tough for me and difficult to give up was my co-host, Danielle Fairman. Danielle Fairman was the co-host of Kill It, Clean It, Cook It. And I am so excited to announce here tonight that Danielle Fairman is going to co-host this outdoor show with me on 540 AM WAUK 101 FM, The Shaw. Danielle, woohoo! We are back together, and I wish you could see it. I mean, if you want to check out the Facebook Live and check out WAUK's Facebook, we have 3 dogs with us in the studio today, 2 puppies, and Peaches. And Peaches, I've hunted with forever, but it is a puppy party. What was the Dr. Seuss book? The dog party, where they have a big dog party in a tree or something.
I have absolutely no idea, but it sounds like a good book for me to read right now. At 34 years old, I would still read it.
It's the level of reading I finally reached.
Yes. And also joining us in the studio is an old friend of mine. And I say old because now both of us are old.
Thanks, buddy.
Mike Keller, who's been in the trenches. You can see the love in the air. Been in the trenches. Hunted when I started hunting 13 years ago or so. Mike Keller was one of the very first people I ever hunted with, and he's definitely taken it to a new level in his life. Not only does he field hunt, but he water hunts the old squaw out on Lake Michigan. He's been trying to convince me to do that. He's a dog breeder. And
the 3 dogs that we have in here are his.
Yes, the 3 dogs we have in here are his. And I have to tell you, I mean, when we're in the field and a goose or a duck is shot, it can be a mile away that thing lands, and Peaches is not coming back without that waterfowl. No question. I can't.
We've seen some pretty cool regions.
I can't even believe it. Mike Keller, welcome to the show. What's up with you, man?
Yeah, hi,
Not
Mike.
much, man. How you doing?
Well, life is kind of crazy. I'm going through a reset, as many of you listeners know.
You're about to hit the easy button, bro.
I don't know.
Do you have an easy button?
I don't have an easy button. It's the easy button. I don't slow down. And that's, part of what I enjoy so much about the state of Wisconsin is that there is always something to do, and there's always something.
My favorite is don't you ever work pursue. All season. You're about to hear it.
Yeah, don't you? No, and people don't realize we're just up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we hunt till 7 or 8, and then we go straight to work and do that till 10 o'clock at night, and then we try to get 3 hours before we're up doing it again.
Right.
But
I actually transitioned this year. Hunting is going to be my work.
Really?
For 60 days. I'm going to be guiding old squaw hunting exclusively. I'm shutting the company down and doing the hunting thing.
All right. Well, keep your mouth next to the mic so we can actually hear you, Mike.
Sorry.
So, old squaw hunting, I think that a lot of people, I would say a ton of people who hunt in the state of Wisconsin or know the state of Wisconsin don't even realize you are able to hunt these incredible, beautiful ducks right in Wisconsin. They're known as sea ducks, and we have Lake Michigan, and they come here.
Well, the coolest thing about it is, like you said, most people don't know they're here for one, so there's not an insane amount of pressure, and for two, it's really cool because we actually have a huge population here, so we get a very high volume of gunning on them, where like if you go out to the East Coast and you're going to go sea duck hunting, you're not going to see a lot of old squaws. You're going to see a lot of scoters, a lot of eiders, and a lot of cool stuff, but old squaws are kind of mixed in because they're out deeper than those other birds. And here, we don't have the eider population or the scoter population. We have the old squaws, and so we hunt them pretty exclusively out there, and our limit here is 6 versus 4 on the coast, which is really cool. You should have all Drake limit old squaws. It's tuxedoed pintails.
Yeah, it blows my mind, to be honest with you, because when you're field hunting around here, first of all, what are these ducks that have gone off course and they're away from the sea? Is it the Mississippi Flyway? Why are they here in the first place?
No, the cool thing is Lake Michigan is a stop in their migration now, along with Lake Huron and the Great Lakes, because of the zebra mussel. So a lot of people, the zebra mussel back in the day was a bad thing. It's an invasive species. One of the things it's really done for us is it's cleaned up the lake a lot. Our lake is beautifully clear because of the zebra mussel now. It's a great food source for a lot of animals, and the old squaw is one of them. They love them. They come down through here.
I did not know that at all.
And hit the Great Lakes on their migration because it is such an abundant food source for them.
So when they're migrating, so they're coming from the north, heading south, obviously, during the winter months, and then they do the other direction in the summer months.
No, they actually migrate differently than every other duck. They circumnavigate the globe. They go all the way around.
No way.
Yes.
Come on.
Way. They're the most prevalent sea duck there is. Out east, they call them the coot of the sea. Because there's so many of them.
Yeah, but they're tough to get on. That I can tell you.
Well, yeah, because you got to go out 100, 150 feet of water.
So where are they going from here? When they stop here in the Lake Michigan,
what they'll do is they'll go from
where are they going?
Down to Huron, and then out to Erie, and then out to the coast, and then they'll hit the ocean, and then they go south from there.
So the other direction, they're literally going to California.
No, they'll go out to the East Coast mostly. Okay. Because they just follow the Great Lakes out.
So back and forth from the Great Lakes.
Yeah, they'll come down
like
from like Nanatuck, like way up in the Arctic Circle, and then they come down through the Chesapeake Bay to get to here, and then they loop down. It's like a shortcut for them to get to the coast, on the east side of the coast.
Well,
instead of going all the way around, they'll go through here. And I'm not saying they all go here. Just
my question about the bands. So when you get a banded duck, where are these bands coming from?
In the Arctic Circle, literally. And I know of 2
quite spectacular to have hanging from your lanyard.
I know of 2 ever, and one of them was shot in Lake Michigan.
Huh.
Yeah, they
don't have an extensive banding program.
They don't, because you think about a duck that feeds. They've been recorded to dive over 200 feet. They've been caught in fishermen's nets.
How in the world?
So it's a widgeon-sized duck that flies with the wind 70 to 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
Have you done this yet, Danielle?
I have not. I actually just found out about it. I am not chicken. I found out about it last year when him and I started becoming buddies.
I'm very interested. Is that this is literally, no joke, this is kind of like a hidden, misunderstood, mysterious,
and it's a total bucket list hunt.
Oh, it absolutely
mysterious kind of aspect of hunting. When you talk about the average hunter in the state of Wisconsin, most people are deer hunters. They're talking. If someone says I'm a hunter, they're going out for the 9-day deer season, and they're wearing blaze orange and they're taking their gun with them. And then you get into some people. Then there are turkey hunters, and there are waterfowl hunters, field hunters, puddle duck hunters. And I think when it comes to actually this type of hunting, a lot of people are apprehensive because they really don't know a lot about it. Me, I'm kind of like a seasick dude, so I get.
Oh no!
I admit I have you, and the former chief warden who is begging me to go out and do this, and I've yet to do it because I'm actually kind of scared to do it. I mean, you're towed out there on the Great Lakes in a layout boat
in 100 feet of water.
In 100 feet of water, and if it's cold out, you're not going to.
But
honestly, it sounds. It's exciting. Now, Danielle, you've been noodling. You've stuck your hand in a giant catfish mouth under a log.
I have.
And you could have had a snapping turtle on your hand instead. I mean, that's crazy to begin with.
Perfect story of safety, though, Joel.
Oh.
I've actually very, very, very true story with Danielle and I. We went hunting early season last year, and we were in shallow water because if you're hunting in a layout boat, 8 feet under you or 100 feet under you, it's not that
if you
big
can't
of a
stand,
difference.
you can't stand. And if it's cold water, you can get hypothermia. It doesn't matter.
5 feet of water, if you're 5 miles offshore, it doesn't matter. We're out there, and I have 10 dozen decoys laying, and Danielle's in the middle of these decoys. And all day long, this fisherman is busting roosts of ducks on the lake. Boom, right through them. Boom, right through them. Next thing you know, this guy's flying through Danielle's decoys, and she's laying in the layout boat. Probably, what did he come, 25 yards from you? Like, he was inside the decoys.
25 was far.
He was like inside your decoys to get them to jump up.
Mm-hmm.
And
but that just goes.
That is way more dangerous than being out in the middle, because not everybody can get so far out in the lake middle.
But that also goes to the fact that when you're on water, no matter what you're doing, if you're pleasure boating or towing a skier, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You got to be careful, and you have to be aware of what's
number
around
one rule.
No question.
Don't be a jerk.
Yes.
That's the biggest
Thank you for not choosing the actual four-letter word. That's how quick the first quarter of the show goes, because it's fascinating. Danielle Fairman is the new host of Raised in the Shaw. New co-host, yes.
I'm
Joel's retiring all of a sudden.
That was fast.
But I'm going to tell you, next, when we come back from the break, we're going to tell you about some of the new options for the new name of the show, and some of the exciting things that are going to be happening, because obviously with Danielle Fairman as co-hosting the show, it's not going to be just Raised in the Shaw with Joel Kleefisch. However, she was essentially Raised in the Shaw. So she counts on that regard, but we'll give you what we think should be the new name of the show when we come back from the break. And, of course, Mara with Mike Keller when we return on WAUK.
Tarpon trip for one.
Welcome back to one of the, it's almost heartbreaking to say, but it's actually a good thing. One of the last shows we're going to be calling Raised in the Shaw with Joel Kleefisch, because in the future, Raised in the Shaw is going to be Raised in the Shaw with Joel Kleefisch and Danielle Fairman. And I'm contemplating a name change for the show, Danielle.
Let's hear it.
Mike Keller's here too, and God knows that Mike Keller has no problem ever expressing his opinion.
No.
You do have. Well, let's be honest
Sometimes
for a minute,
in the past,
Keller.
more adamantly than I should have.
Keller, you in the past. Are we really saying in the past now? He's gone through a revolution.
Like 5 minutes ago.
I want to be clear. I love you, Mike. We have been friends for a long time, and we will be friends forever. Now, if you don't know Mike Keller, he has a military past, Marine past, and I think sometimes in the field he pictures himself as the drill sergeant, and the Marines are like the decoys and the people setting them up out there. Because I have been on the other end of your sergeant. Of your staff sergeant yelling from time to time in the field, Mike.
I'm not going to say
He's
that.
not even shying
I'm
away
not
from
going
it.
to say that we don't strive for perfection, Joel. And,
this is very true.
And when striving for perfection,
just like that sentence,
right.
Perfection.
When striving for perfection, we are all very adamant in the morning, especially when it's 5 a.m.
in the morning.
We all are.
Or when we put the decoys away and you don't line them up properly in the bag.
Dave Nelson called over the break, and Dave Nelson got his nickname Decoy Dave, because right when that first flock is rolling over the hill, he's dead in the middle of the decoys, moving them around. But no, Keller, you've had a sternness in the past, but I have to say, I've always enjoyed hunting with you. You're a very good hunter. You're a great caller, and your dog work, the work you do with your dogs and your ability for your dogs to be out there and be part of the process is definitely just as much fun as the actual hunt. Watching those dogs retrieve.
Yes.
Oh, I do the goose hunting for my dogs now. We've done goose hunting for so long that for me, switching to the old squaw thing was easy. My favorite memories are the pictures I see remember when we would take Charlie out?
Yep.
And he was little, and you and Charlie and Peaches when she was young. And it would just be you and me. And we'd go out, and there was never any harsh discussion when it was just me and you.
No.
It was like, we should just put like 3 decoys right here, and we'll kill like 10 geese.
Yeah, and you know what the problem? Not a problem. It's a blessing and a curse. When you get good at something, people want to go along with you, and you want to share it with them. Mm-hmm. So what happens is, as you become a better goose hunter, which to me, I mean, everybody's got their assets. I'm not the greatest caller at all. In fact, I'm not a great caller at all. I'm a good caller, and the jargon calls make it a little easier to do that. But I'm good at getting permissions. I'm not afraid to knock on doors. And
great at getting permission.
And scouting is the key to hunting. It really is. Mm-hmm. And I say it over and over and over. And I know that my 6 listeners, including the Kennedy family out in Oconomowoc,
hello,
Robin and Dan and their kids, they listen every week, and they're not even hunters.
We have 7 on Facebook Live right now.
Hey, awesome. Look at that.
Look at us. We're
7.
Just doubling our numbers.
7. And that reminds me of what I had said earlier. We're thinking of changing the name of the show to Raised in Wisco. I really like that. I think
really like it.
Wisco is kind of a hip term for Wisconsin. Cool. And I love the fact that Danielle and I are kind of teamed up back together from Kill It, Clean It, Cook It.
Me too.
That was an end of an era, and it was a really enjoyable 13 years on Channel 12. Really having a blast. And I want to tell you guys, I have to leave at 4:00 in the morning to drive to the Benelli show in Minnesota to do that with the Fowl Life tomorrow. And they're going to have dogs and boats and cookbooks, and we're going to do a lot about cooking during that. So that'll be exciting too. So if you're anywhere in the Walker, Minnesota area, come say hi to me and Chad Belding from the Fowl Life at the Reed's Family Outdoor Show tomorrow, or it'll be going on Saturday in Walker, Minnesota. Now, I know we don't quite have the reach of Walker, Minnesota, but I'm really thinking about it. So we'd love to hear some feedback from folks who are paying attention. I think that Raised in Wisco with Joel Kleefisch and Danielle Fairman will be pretty good. What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah. I think if you're asking my opinion, I like it a lot. It'll play really good with the guests that you have on. With the local guests and everybody else, because we're not all raised in the Shaw, but we're raised in Wisconsin.
That's a fact. And I think the 3 of us sitting here are 3 people who we're not happy unless we got our fingers in a bunch of pies. I mean, that's just kind of the way all of our lives have gone. We've got 8 million things going on.
Unmedicated ADD.
There's always something happening.
And I don't drink, so I got nothing to take the edge off. So I got to have 8 million things going on at once. And one of the things that you've really gotten into, not only dog training, Mike, but now you're a dog breeder as well. You're working with dogs
actually
from conception.
More into the breeding end of it than the training end of it. My friend Chad has really taken a lot of that training over. Anybody that wants to get trained, I taught him. He works with me. He's taught me. He's a great guy.
You got his number or way to contact him? Go ahead.
Absolutely. Let me find it.
We don't remember phone numbers
anymore. It at the break. We can come back with it.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. And what I've done with the breeding end of it is I really have gotten into. Now I'm in my 3rd and 4th generations of puppies, so I'm getting the calm and speed that we're really looking for.
Well, that really matters. And I think a lot of people get into hunting for different reasons. Some of them are getting into it now literally because they enjoy working with the dogs.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then that's my big thing with the dogs is, like, we breed dogs that are trainable. That's a big thing. We want them calm and easy in the house. We don't want hyper dogs. So you're
literally telling me
the gun dog that your wife will love.
You can have
You
a
don't
hybrid.
need a couch dog.
You can have a hybrid that's actually going to be a lap dog and a hunting dog.
Peaches has ridden in my truck every day since she was 5 weeks old.
Every day.
And she hunts harder than any dog that I've hunted with, other than maybe 3 or 4 that are snow goose guiding dogs.
That's awesome. When we come back from the break, we got more with Mike Keller. We may revisit his attempts to get people out on Lake Michigan, and our new co-host Danielle Fairman. We'll be right back on WAUK.
The Shaw, 101 FM, WAUK 540 AM, Wisconsin's home for rational talk radio.
Who doesn't love laser tag? iCombat gives you that and so much more. It's a real-life video game experience. iCombat's perfect for birthday parties, special events, corporate team building, or just blasting away at your friends. iCombat has $20 Thursday night specials, and kids of all ages are welcome. iCombat at 1023 Spring City Drive off Sunset. For more info, go to iCombatWaukesha.com. iCombat is a proud sponsor of the Black Shirt Football radio broadcast. Gear up, squad up, prepare for iCombat laser tag.
Conservative Talk Radio, they don't want to hear your opinion. They want to give you your opinion. They've done a good job. There's a way out. You can escape. Just turn on 540 AM WAUK, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., Monday through Friday. And we can help.
Radio station that
Make it happen.
Then we can think of Raised in Wisco with Joel and Danielle. But we went into the break and we're talking about a myriad of things, from dogs to hunting dogs, raising dogs. And Mike Keller, our guest today, who does a lot of old squaw hunting out on Lake Michigan in layout boats, and raises dogs and breeds dogs and sells dogs and does some training of dogs. And I've been in the field with his dog, which is an absolutely incredible experience. But what advice do you give to people, Mike, who think, geez, I'd like to maybe have a hunting dog, but it's a lot more work than it's worth? Is that true? Is that not true? Or is it you get out what you put in kind of thing?
It's a you get out what you put in kind of thing. Honestly, if you start early, and I mean like the day you get your puppy, 8 weeks, do some research on some things. You can teach a puppy how to do pretty much anything with food and a clicker. And if you can get them sitting and coming to a whistle and responding to a few basic commands and retrieving back to you by the time they're 4 months, all you need to do is make it bigger. And that literally takes, like, I spend with my puppies 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week.
Okay.
4 days a week.
That's not a lot.
No,
That's
it's
not a lot.
And you can overtrain a puppy. You don't want to burn them out. They don't process as fast as people, so it takes them 24 to 48 hours to get a lesson that you're teaching them, for one. And for two, if it's the same thing all the time, their little brains are so fast that they're like, okay, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? What are we doing next? And you're just going to frustrate yourself, and then you're going to make it bad for the dog.
All right.
And so, like, I literally, like, hit them for 10 minutes, a little bit of sit, a little bit of here, a little bit of retrieving. I keep those separate until they get bigger. Like, we'll retrieve for fun. That'll be what we do today.
I have a
Tomorrow.
dog that's gun shy, that became gun shy after she was a good retriever. Is that fixable?
If you can learn to associate the gun with the retrieve, you can probably fix it, but it is a very, very difficult thing to fix.
Why did that happen?
My guess is the gunshot did not happen in conjunction with something cool the first time that you introduction to gunshot is a big deal with a hunting dog. If you just walk out and bang, shoot next to your dog, you're going to freak them out. It's like a firework. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of hunting dogs. It's like that joke that you see at 4th of July. My hunting dog was looking for ducks all over my living room.
I've never heard that.
Because of the fireworks.
I have never heard that. Well, I always hear with fireworks, it's like a different percussion. That's why
totally
they get
different,
scared.
and that's why your hunting dog can be scared of fireworks.
My dog's scared of fireworks.
Right, but
Terrified.
goes hunting and it's like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh, so
because that noise is associated with getting a retrieve. Where just bang is associated with just bang and it's loud and scary.
Even the word bang just got all the dogs in the
Just
studio
so
excited
Right, yeah. It's
about retrieving something.
let's do it.
And so when you introduce a dog to gunfire, you should do it at a distance. With birds or with retrieving, throw bumpers, have a friend 40 or 50 yards away, shoot when the bumper is thrown, and then the dog gets to retrieve. And then as the dog's more comfortable, you get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and before you know it, you're shooting with 10 guys over your dog. But the other thing that happens, a lot of guys, they'll go out and train their dog alone all summer long, not shoot over their dog, do bumper retrieves, and not introduce their dog to birds, and then at 9 months think, oh, it's opening day, let's go hunting. And go out on opening day of early goose season with their young dog, 10 dudes, blaze, full 3 shots apiece, right into the first flock, and that dog's traumatized at that moment because it has never associated that shooting with retrieving or with hunting or with the birds. And guys were like, what happened? Well, the first time you take a dog hunting, you should do it with 1 or 2 guys. You should probably not have a gun. And you should pay attention to what the dog's doing and make sure that you've already associated a lot of the things that are going to happen today with the dog and the gun and the blinds and stuff. So it's a lot of preparation. I mean, you think about taking a 6-year-old out to the field that has high level ADD that barely speaks English, and you go hunting like we do. We hunt. I mean, it's not like a couple of dudes shooting a couple of birds. When we go out, we plan on having everybody get
we
their
scout,
limit.
because the actual hunting is the scouting you put in the
right,
work.
Exactly.
And the day that you're showing up is the actual harvesting.
Like you said earlier, we're all busy. Right. We have other things to do. To lay in a field and not shoot birds while you're thinking about work and your kids or your wife or your dogs or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your job, that's aggravating. It's like, what else could I be doing right now? Yeah. So you're driving around every morning before work so that when you do get a Thursday that you have an extra hour and a half, you can go out, blaze your birds, and be done.
Yeah, you're not just wasting your time when you actually go hit the field. That's not to say that you can scout as hard as you want, and there are going to be times you sit out there and nothing happens. Stupid. And that is when you get to laugh with your friends. And, Danielle, we talked a lot last week about women in hunting.
Yes.
And you're a quintessential real hunter. I mean, you are out there. You're putting in the work to scout and get permissions, and you have a dog.
I do.
And did you work on the training of that dog with Mike?
I'm glad we wrapped around to this because I wanted to say something. So with our first dog, Ranger, I did not train him properly, and I completely regret it because with Ranger, he was a tad bit gun shy. He was not like aggressive with it, but he was more or less like, oh, okay, this is a loud noise. I should be doing something, but I don't know what I should be doing. And with him, he wasn't really good with retrieving. But it was my first dog, so I didn't know what to do. So then I contacted this fine gentleman over here, Mike Keller. I'm like, okay, what do we need to do?
Wait a minute. You just said this fine gentleman, Mike.
Right. Let's oversell it a little.
Well, that's a little overstated.
The reason why he's a fine fella, there's 3 dogs in here.
I know John Whitmore Woody is listening right now, so he just rolled his eyes in the truck. But go ahead with your story.
He brought me 3 dogs. I'm happy. But with Bandit, the dog that we have now, we brought him to the gun club when he was just a puppy. We brought him to the gun club and we stayed down the driveway just so we can the gunshots were audible. And we were doing the retrieves. We're having him heel, then toss.
They were kind of like
fun stuff.
Pops in the distance.
They weren't like loud. You could hear them.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, you couldn't. We just tossed it and just hung out. And then we got about 50 yards closer. We kept getting closer and closer and closer and closer until we're pretty much, I'm like, I asked, I'm like, hey, is it okay if we stand over here and then my dog will just train?
So how did you get a hold of Mike to be able to do this? Was it just because we knew him through hunting?
She has my personal number.
Bill does.
It was her fiance has your personal number.
Ooh,
well, don't put too much pressure on the bill.
It was actually the retrieve with Peaches. I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. I didn't really know him then, but with Peaches, she did a retrieve with only hand signals. Blew my mind. He threw his arm right, she went right, or she went left, but he went right and she went left. And it was mind-blowing.
She went the direction I pointed.
She went, okay.
She was facing me.
Do you need to put, Danielle,
yes,
do you need to put your fingers up and say
she
this
went
is
left, you went right. I was right.
I pointed right, and she was facing me, so she went to her left.
Anatomical direction.
So do we need to bring in like stage cues, like stage left, stage right? The dog
I'm
went,
just doing crane
the
signals
dog
in my
went
head.
where Mike
The dog
pointed.
went starboard, yes.
But that's what we did. We just took him to sorry, there's a dog in my lap and I'm distracted.
I can see that.
Here, yeah. Okay. We took Bandit to the gun club and we just got closer and closer. And now every time he hears a gunshot,
He thinks he's getting a retreat.
he is shaking. Which is annoying. I don't know how to stop this, but he is whining like a cat. His teeth start chattering. He's like, "Oh, it's time. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go." Which is fantastic. He is wonderful with the cues of Mike Keller here. He told us what to do. And now Bandit, every time we even bring the bumper out, he's just like, let's do it.
Bandit
I'm
is a
ready.
very high drive dog.
He is.
He loves to do his job so much
He's like
that
his mama.
he lets everybody know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question about that, Mike, because this is we do talk about some tough stuff on this show because there is a contingent of the population, even here in Wisconsin with such a hunting heritage, that thinks hunting is bad and using a dog to hunt is bad, and it's bad for the dog, when the reality of it is this is what the dogs live for. They don't just like to do it or don't
in their
feel
DNA.
forced to do it. This is what they live to do. They are called retrievers. They're called Labrador Retrievers for a reason, because it is literally built into their genes.
It is. It's in their DNA. And it goes back to the beginning of when they were bred. Their Labrador Retriever was actually bred to jump off a boat, catch the fish that fell in the net, and bring them back to the boat.
Fish.
Yeah. So
Those doggy kisses had a
duck
stink.
hunters were like, "Oh my god, I gotta see this. This is amazing. I don't have to go get my own ducks anymore." And they started using them and getting them all over. And then the lab that we have now, that was developed in the UK, was developed to find game and to be calm. And like Danielle, her dog is a little more hyper. That's a genetic thing too. Dogs that are
But when it's
bred at different
shaking,
levels.
when its teeth are chattering, it's because it's excited
it's
and
because
happy.
it is so wanting to do this, because in my genetic DNA, that's all that I can think of.
Right.
And I mean, it's literally like fulfilling its whole purpose.
And I think sometimes, and something that's kind of funny to me is that very often, I mean, this show is filled with meat eaters, people who hunt. The ethical way to hunt is definitely to eat what you kill, and it's part of a provider lifestyle. And there is no better fare, in my opinion, in life than taking something from the field, preparing it in really creative ways, and that's something I'm good at and really get into. Mm-hmm. But when someone says, "Oh gosh, hunting is evil because you're killing animals and eating meat," and then they have a dog who's a pet and they don't realize, I think to myself, I want to ask them, well, what do you feed your dog? Dogs are carnivores.
They feed dog food that's been dried out and
meat, but it's meat.
Right.
And so I think even in its
I think the biggest thing with dogs is the preservance of game.
No question.
Like they make it so that we don't waste. I can't find basically miniature football-sized brown item in a brown field myself, but I can send my dog out, and if I get it downwind within 50 yards, it's finding that and it's bringing it back to me, and now what I killed is making it to my table instead of being wasted.
No question about it.
And I would never hunt waterfowl without a dog unless I'm open water hunting like I do out on Lake Michigan, because you can see them and they can't. The dog's not doing any good there.
Right. I mean, and look, I field hunt quite a bit. Field hunt geese without a dog, but that's a whole different
They're
story.
gigantic.
We don't lose any of those either. To the best of our ability, of course, because you're trying to be ethical as much as you can. But the point I was going to make is that dogs genetically and historically, and even back to their ancestors hundreds of thousands of years ago, they were hunters and retrievers for themselves and for their group of dogs they lived with and their dog families. And they provided that meal for them.
Well, they've done that for humans for thousands of years.
Yes.
I mean, dogs have been found buried with their humans
Absolutely.
for thousands
Back to
of
Egyptian
years.
tombs.
And they gathered and hunted with their human beings.
All right, we got one more segment. That's how fast this has gone. You're listening to Raised in Wisco with Joel Kleefisch and Danielle Fairman. We'll be right back.
The ring of fire.
Hi there, I'm Kirk Bankstad and I own the Minocqua Brewing Company. And I also have a super PAC. We make good trouble in the North Woods of Wisconsin. You can support our efforts at the MinocquaBrewingCompany.com and buy our woke gear like t-shirts, hoodies, and trucker hats. Enter the code RADIO and get 10% off on your next purchase. A portion of all sales support the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC, which is dark money meant for good. That's the MinocquaBrewingCompany.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Kleefisch, and I've got a new show on WAUK 540 AM 101 FM The Shaw. It's called Raised in the Shaw with Joel Kleefisch. I was born and raised in Waukesha, and you wouldn't believe what a springboard that is for a crazy exciting life. We'll talk provider lifestyle, hunting, fishing, and of course, cooking from field to table because food's my favorite dish. We'll have local and national celebrity guests. Join us at 7 Thursdays for Raised in the Shaw. See you then. Well, we're on the air, Danielle. So co-host Danielle just sharing with everybody that she is perspiring.
Sweaty pits.
Welcome back to Raised in Wisco with Joel Kleefisch and Danielle Fairman. What a great debut, Danielle.
Talking about perspiration.
Perspiration. Hey,
No,
man,
okay.
it's all right. I'm just plain sweating over here, but that's just because of all the excitement we've got in the studio today. Mike Keller's here talking about breeding dogs, raising dogs to be hunting dogs, his time out on Lake Michigan hunting the old squaw. But that is not where you started, Mike. You and I spent a ton of time together in the middle of a cornfield. At my very, very beginning of hunting in my life. And I guess one of the blessings, a sad part to me is that I never really was introduced to hunting until I was about 38 years old. I'm 51 now. But
mine was 23.
I've always loved to eat. And I've always loved to cook.
Ditto.
So when I was introduced to hunting, for me, a large part of it was about how I could take whatever it was and put it on the table. And I have to admit, when I told people I'm really starting to grow into goose hunting, I can't tell you how many people say, yuck,
Ew.
I would never eat a goose. And so for me, it was kind of an I'll show you. We get out into the cornfield and we're taking these 10-pound, 12-pound, 15-pound geese. And think about it just for a minute. That breast that you take out of a goose, that is their muscle that they fly with. They're flying thousands of miles a year, thousands and thousands. And that is a tough, hard muscle that they're using to do that, and we're turning it into absolutely awesome table fare.
It's like a sirloin. Same texture to me as like a sirloin steak. You really gotta baby it up a little bit to make it amazing.
See, we
But
just
you do a
grind
great
ours
job.
up all
Like,
the time.
your goose recipes are insane.
Yeah.
I remember, like, for me, when I goose hunted, and it was like a hardcore thing, we'd kill 50 geese. All of them would turn into jerky. And you're like, no, we're going to make this into food. And
Well, jerky
I'm
is
like,
technically food.
well, not like the food that you make. It's like, you're like, here, try this. And I'm like, this is not goose. And you're like, this is totally goose. And I'm like, well, it tastes just like Italian beef.
Yeah, it really does. That is one of the most
I
simple
remember when we
recipes.
did the short read goose calling segment on the old show.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you and I have hunted quite a bit together through the years, and some of the best hunts and best times have been, I just drove by that field, Danielle, where we had that fog hunt that one morning.
Oh, that was the perfect field.
That was so cool. And
Every field in fog is the perfect.
It was
Yeah.
it was like so spectacular. The everything just lined up perfectly from us setting up to the deer walking right when the geese were about to get into sight. And then the deer were walking, and all of a sudden you can hear the geese, and all of a sudden you see the geese, and all of a sudden you shoot the geese, and it was just spectacular.
We had, no joke, a cloud bank that was probably about 8 feet above our heads, maybe 10. And we did not see these geese until their feet were just about at our foot bags, and that was just a really dynamic.
It's always a cool way to shoot geese.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Here I am.
It's just so rare that you have that fog stick around when those first flocks get going, because there's a little bit of them they don't really know where to go exactly.
I like when it first gets cold and the hoarfrost hits the trees right before the geese fly.
Yeah.
And then, like you're sitting out there and it's nice and chilly. No mosquitoes.
No.
That's the best part. Is no mosquitoes.
The fog always has some mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Well, we go to North Dakota, Bill and I, we go to North Dakota during the break. And when we wake up and it was fresh snow, you were hunting green flooded fields right away. Then all of a sudden the next morning, it's a blanket of white everywhere.
I love hunting in the snow.
The water was just, obviously hot enough so everything melted off of it. Everything landed perfectly.
When the water's steaming.
Yes. It's so perfect.
It's the best. So,
I hate mornings, but I love mornings.
Oh, I understand.
I hate waking up, but I love mornings.
I force myself out of bed in the morning to see the morning.
There is nothing better on earth than watching the woods and the fields wake up, or the water if you're on the water.
Oh, yes.
I love being on Lake Michigan.
Wisconsin wake up in the morning.
That sunrise on Lake Michigan
amazing.
is 45 minutes long. I mean, it takes forever to come up. I've had guys, my clients last year from Utah, they're used to the mountains. The sun comes up in 5 minutes. Bam, it's up.
Yep.
Here, I mean, it's light an hour on that lake before the sun actually hits the ceiling.
And it's nice and chilly.
It crests, and you watch the whole thing come over the horizon, and it's amazing out there.
It's beautiful.
It really is. And that, I do kind of want to, I talk about this a lot, but if you're someone who lives in the state of Wisconsin and you don't hunt or fish or really kind of utilize the outdoors because you're apprehensive about it, because you've never done it before, look, I'm here to tell you, at 30, I had never hunted a day in my life till I was 38 years old. And now it is outside of my family, of my family and what I do with my family, it is the number one thing that drives me to get out of bed in the morning. The number one thing is getting out there with the potential to harvest something to put on the table. And I can't tell you how many times, memories in my life over the past 51 years, there is a bank of them, but the vast majority of that bank entails time spent in the outdoors with loved ones and friends. And if you are afraid to do it, it's shows like this one that are trying to light a fire under you and tell you, call someone, contact someone, say, I don't know how to do it. Will you help me get into it? One of the biggest joys I ever have is taking a new hunter hunting, and it is indescribable when you get to show them and they look at you with that look in their face of understanding why you get out of bed at 3 or 4 in the morning to do it. Because once you understand it, it will change you. It will change you forever, and you will never go back to the way you were before. And I know the three of you, the three of us in this room, have been sitting next to that person that harvests their first animal. And the very first thing they do is they look at you because they want to, and you look and you say, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that's you.
That's the first thing they do is look at you.
Well, and that's the progression that I made, Joel, is after I've been hunting since I was like 8, waterfowl in high volume areas. I loved it. I love every minute of my life. My dad took me hunting. I was fortunate enough to have amazing experiences when I was young. And now I've gotten to the point where me killing stuff is fun and I love it. Don't get me wrong. But to take guys out and watch them get a bucket list bird or shoot a first bird, or I've started guiding fishing to get their first king salmon or anything like that, is just an amazing, awesome thing. I love watching the smiles on people's faces.
And I don't think there could be a much better way to wrap up the show.
Oh, no.
Yes, I know.
Why
it
does
gets
it go so
fun.
fast?
It goes so fast. And there are a lot of firsts tonight. And first off, I want to thank Calvin, our new producer of the show. Did a fantastic job. Say hey to Evan in the Madison studio for helping us out today. And Danielle Fairman, the new co-host of Raised in Wisco with Joel
Raised in
Kleefisch and
Wisco.
Danielle Fairman. Of course, we'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mike Keller, old friend of mine and hunting buddy.
Buddy, old
And
pal.
I'm not saying we don't tangle once in a while, because we do, but that's all part
Strong
of it as well.
personalities, buddy.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week from 7 to 8 on 540 AM WAUK 101 FM.